Welcome to episode 2 of The Jab. I am your host, moderator, and head coach, Mike D. On this week's episode, we're going to give a final recap of the NFL draft. The guys will give their opinions on their team's effort in the draft and give a letter grade. We're also going to tab into the NBA playoffs of the second round of the Eastern and Western Conferences. The guys will give their predictions on who's going to advance to the conference finals. And then after that, we're going to wrap this thing up with hitting some hot takes from last week's boxing matches. They will give their opinions and thoughts on the matches and the potential for future matches in the boxing world. Other than that, sit back, relax, hit the subscribe button, and let's do this thing on The Jab.
Welcome to Season 1 of The Jab Podcast with your host and moderator, Mike D.
Alrighty, we got AQ in the house. We got Big Grizz in the house. We got All About Sal in the house, and we got my man John in the house, and we got Josh in the house. So AQ, we're gonna let you start off with your NFL recap. So let's go with the Dallas Cowboys. So what's your feelings about Dallas in their draft?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we had a decent draft. Looking back at it, thinking it over. Got the first round pick as an O lineman. Good pickup. Came from Oklahoma. Tyler Guyton. Moves really quick. It's definitely gonna be probably very very useful into our O line. But not only that, not only did we pick up him for O line, we also picked up the kid from Kansas State, Cooper Beebe, third round. And then we went ahead and picked up Nathan Thomas from Louisiana out there in round 7. I'd say with that right there, with us losing some key offensive players, those are definitely some pickups that we needed. But I feel like what was something that we definitely needed was looking into more of our defense. Defensive end wise, we picked up a kid from Western Michigan, Marshawn Nealon, on the defensive end, which is definitely needed since the departures and free agency of Armstrong and Dante Fowler Jr. and also with DeMarcus Lawrence in his final year of contract. I feel like that is really needed in this moment. But overall, I think I'd still give it a B. I'd give it a B. How decent we drafted this year. We probably could have picked up some more offensive weapons, but at this moment, I feel like a B is what we did this year.
All right, that sounds good, man. You got any positives or negatives you thought they could have did or what they could have done better?
Honestly, I felt like we missed some options out there. Considering trying to pick up some weapons on wide receiver, or maybe picking up at least running back 2, running back 3, maybe. But hopefully we come up with something during trades or during something before the season happens. We'll see what happens, but I got to stay hopeful, man.
All right. That sounds good, man. Like I said, there's 3 of us on here that's Cowboys fans, so we're going to ride with your opinion because you're more of a diehard Cowboy fan than the other 2 of us. But, hey, I'm still straddling the fence with my Cowboys. I might have to pull out plan B, but we'll get to that on a different pod.
Yes,
So,
sir.
hey, Big Grizz, we know you're a big Eagles fan, man. So give us your take on the draft and the positives and negatives and what you think they could do to improve on the draft if there was anything you thought.
Gotcha. Well, started off, I'm just going to say Howie Roseman did it again. I'm just going to go ahead and say my grade right now. I give our draft an A- for this year. We picked up a lot of big-time weapons. Picked up Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. 2 defensive backs. Really needed to fill that spot up. Our defensive backs lately have just been terrible. Our coverage has just been terrible the past year and a half or so. So picking up some defensive backs that are not only good in zone coverage, but also very, very, very strong at their position and can attack receivers with any route that they throw at them. We also picked up Jeremiah Trotter Jr. From Clemson, a big legacy pickup for us. His father played for us back in the 2000s. He was a big weapon there with Brian Dawkins in our defense. And then we also picked up a running back that surprised me, Will Shipley out of Clemson. He has a really good catching the ball out of the backfield abilities. Very quick, very strong. And he kind of knows how to read the O-line, and that's what I like about him. He's very patient back there, and once he sees the hole, he'll explode through it.
I don't mean to
Those are
interrupt you
some
right quick, but
positives.
I'm going to ask you a question about your running back situation because y'all picked up Barkley, correct?
Oh yeah, we picked up Barkley. And then we have Will Shipley. It looks like we're gonna have an offense that's very explosive from the starting in the backfield. We got two running backs that are pretty comfortable with catching the ball from back there, and they're very explosive. So we'll see what that adds, what kind of dynamic that adds to our offense with the receivers that we have and with Jalen Hurts running the ball.
All right. Well, since you gave your guys an A, I guess you don't have any too many negatives
No,
to say about
yeah,
the
not too
upcoming
many
season.
negatives. Really, the only negative is that we traded a lot of picks, but we traded a lot of picks for picks next year because who knows, Goodell might come down on us within the next year or so and take
Oh
some
yeah,
picks
they
from us.
they definitely in the
We don't
win
know.
now phase,
We don't
man.
know. Rumor has it that we might have did something that we shouldn't have done Saquon, but we'll see where that goes.
All right. Since you're our division rival, NFC East, I won't knock you for giving your team an A minus, man. That's great. So now we're gonna move over to the stinking Steelers, and all about Sal. Hey Sal, man, I'll just get kid with you on that, bro. But how do you feel about your Steelers? Any positives and negatives from the draft? And give us a letter grade, man.
So starting off with the letter grade, I'm gonna give them a B. Um, Me personally, going into the draft, I know we needed basically a whole new offensive line. You know, we got Eric Jones last year in the draft. He's been solid, so we've been needing someone, either another guard, preferably another tackle. But first round we came out and picked up Troy Fontenot from Washington. Dude is he's a beast, man. Going to his combine ratings as an offensive guard, he ran a 5.01. And I'm talking about dude is big, dude is moving. And watching his film from Washington, this dude can. Next pick going into Zach Frazier as a center out of West Virginia. Haven't seen too much of him. I know we've been lacking, in the center spot, especially now since we let go ours in the offseason. But not much I can say about that, honestly. It's just we'll see what he can do. Also, really was looking for another probably defensive back. Looking for the long ball. Didn't get none other than Ryan Ross out of the 6th round. But, definitely kind of has some better options up there. But I feel like we filled the needs pretty good.
All right. So, what is your prediction for your division? I mean, y'all in a really tough division, man. You got the Bengals. Who's all in y'all division? The Bengals.
So AFC North are made up, obviously, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns.
All right. So, what's your opinion on your finish in the division?
Right now, with the offseason moves we made, getting Patrick Queen out there, then left linebacker spot, I'm gonna say we can go out there. We can punch a wild card game. I can't say we're
Okay. How
gonna
you
win
feel
it.
about your quarterback situation?
Pretty good. Got Russell Wilson. We signed him to a deal. Picked up Justin Fields. The way we're talking right now about having Justin Fields return a kickoff, I don't know about that package or more so or not, but
Hey, man.
I don't
Oh,
know.
it's a hell no. It's a
You
hell
got a
no.
quarterback, man.
But hey, two solid two quarterbacks though. I really can't knock it.
Come on.
If Russell goes down, we got Justin right there to pick him up. So
Yeah, but I ain't never heard of a quarterback being on special teams. So I don't care
hey,
how dynamic he is, man.
hey,
That's like an insane statement. I've never even if it's not true, I wouldn't even let that leak out. But hey,
Punt
y'all to stick
it's
with
returner,
it.
Mike
It
bro.
is what
Tomlin
it
though.
is.
Punt return.
It's Mike Tomlin though, bro.
Hey,
You
hey,
never really know.
hey, Sal. How long you think? How many games you think it's going to take, and then Fields is going to replace Wilson?
How long did it take
Good
Aaron
question.
Rodgers to tear his Achilles?
Hey, that wasn't but like 2 plays, bro. Come on, man. He wasn't out there for
Hey,
2
Russell
plays.
Wilson going to be having 2 plays. That's what you're saying.
Hey, I don't know. I give him until probably about week 3, week 4.
Nah, I think they're gonna give him a longer leash than that, man.
I
You
think
think
so,
so?
man.
Yeah.
Same,
I
same,
think
but
they'll
he
give
has
him
to do
half the
terribly
season,
wrong.
man. If he ain't about week 7, week 8, if he ain't,
So here's my thing on it. I really want to see Russell and Justin Fields go at it in the preseason games. See what they can do.
Mm.
You know, and let that be the deciding factor. Because I mean, this last season's QB issues out the ass.
yeah.
I think we went through what all 3 QBs last season.
Hey,
Freaking
and the
Kenny
crazy
Pickett.
thing about that is that y'all still had a chance. Y'all did y'all make the playoffs? Up, man. My memory's not serving me very
Yeah,
good
we
right now.
did.
But
We
didn't
played the
y'all make
Bills.
y'all make
We played
wild
the Bills.
card?
Yeah.
Okay, and y'all had subpar quarterback play. Let's be honest now. Even with subpar quarterback play, y'all still made the playoffs. So if Wilson or Fields can come in and give y'all
But
any
listen to
kind of
this.
jolt, man. Y'all gonna I don't like the Steelers. I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm from the 70s. I'm Roger Staubach, Lynn Swan, Bradshaw. I'm from that age. So I was just grown up not to like the Steelers. But I gotta respect their game. I wish we
Mm.
had their organization as far as what the owner do and what the GM do. Saying all that, man, y'all got a shot, man. Y'all got a real shot. Cause y'all got a good defense. It's not great,
Oh
but
man.
it's close.
Oh, but like I say, I'm anticipating it this season. Hopefully, our offense can produce 400 yards or more in the passing game because we had not had a single game last season where that
Ooh,
happened.
400 a game?
Our team did not get past 400 total offensive yards.
Oh, you talking about total offense. I was gonna say
Yes,
400
sir.
yards a game, man. Woo wee.
True.
So
And we still made the wild card.
so who y'all got for the running backs? Y'all gonna resign Najee Harris, or what y'all gonna do with that? How they say it?
So as of right now, the only thing that's been coming out with Najee is we're not picking up his 5th year option,
Yeah.
which I mean that's going around the league, not just within the Steelers organization itself. But they haven't said nothing about releasing him, Najee, nor have I read about him wanting to be traded out. So we'll really see what happens. I want to say Najee, but no one might tell him that he's gonna have something up his sleeve, try to use some draft picks or something and get somebody better.
All right, all right. So you got any positive, negatives about your team that you want to talk about?
The negative are defensive backs, bro. We've been lacking. D-ball's been killing us. I can't catch a break. We be right in the mix, and somebody just shoved out a 40-yard bomb, bro, and here we are. Positives, like I said, quarterback situations improved drastically. Picked up a lot of offensive weapons that we can use on the line. Um, so I really think that we can piece it together. It's just a matter of if, not a matter of when.
Yep. Yep.
Mm.
All right, man. We really appreciate that hearing about the Steelers. We got Big John in the house. Big John, we know you're a Vikings fan, man. Same scenario with you, man. You want to do a little draft recap, give us the positives and negatives about what you expect from your team, and give us a letter grade.
Yeah, man. Overall, I would say I gave the overall grade about a B minus. I would say we did 2 picks in the first round. Obviously, we needed a quarterback, so we ended up getting JJ McCarthy, and we decided to trade up for him, and they had a lot of faith on the dude. There was a lot of buzz before the pick even happened that it was going to be him. But I did hear that they were trying to trade up all the way to number 3 for Drake May. So, they had JJ McCarthy as number 2 just in case. But, overall, JJ McCarthy, I would say he was elite in the aspect of college football, but we'll see how it turns out to be with the Vikings and the weapons that he has. And when we have a healthy tight end, hopefully here this coming up season, and a healthier Justin Jefferson, and all the other wide receivers that we have with Jordan Addison, and then hopefully it turns out to be a good pick. But and then that was Turner. We got an edge. We had to replace Daniil Hunter. That ended up having to get traded to the Texans. So another solid first round pick, traded up for him as well. So that did end up having us to not get a second nor a third round pick. And so therefore the fourth round pick, we actually ended up getting a corner that we do desperately need. And his name was Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon. Stat wise, he was pretty solid in Oregon. He started all games throughout the college season, and he ended up racking up some decent numbers. But and then after that, we ended up getting a kicker, which I would say a kicker is an underrated position in the football league. They can definitely be game
Oh yeah.
game changers when it comes to the last minute games. And at the end of the day, he ended up getting picked, and we needed one. We let go, I think, of ours as well. So but a kicker can be always replaced, and I say they usually are during the season, if I'm correct. But and then we ended up getting an offensive tackle as well. So all in all, we worked a lot on the offensive side. I still think the downside to the draft was the defensive side. We still need to work on that, but I think they're really working on what we have right now, and hopefully it elevates the game with our with our defensive coach that we have now. So
All right. So, man, you're in the NFC North, man. You got the young Green Bay team that's hungry, that went to the playoffs and stomped the mud hole in my Cowboys. Got the Detroit
Yep.
Lions, man. They there. So, what is your expectation for the year for your Vikings?
I'll be honest with you, man. This year, I think it's still going to be either third or fourth place. And honestly, I'm saying that with all honesty, just because we're still gonna have to develop our quarterback situation. We have a great offense with our receivers and even our running backs now. I mean, we still have to work with our running backs because we signed a 1 year deal for Aaron Jones, but we still don't know what he's capable of. We have Ty Chandler that we ended up having to put for the pretty much the remaining of the season because we ended up having to replace him due to the injury uh that our other uh God, I forgot his name, but the Cam Akers. He ended up having to, I think he ended up getting an Achilles injury just like Kirk Cousins did. So, Ty Chandler, he's a small dude, but he's fast. But, we still have to work with the running back situation as well. But I think third, I would say we're probably gonna be below, 500, but I'm hopeful,
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you got the Bears in your division. They drafted Caleb Williams, man. So
Yeah.
they probably gonna have an explosive offense. So yeah, you probably need some DBs on your side, man.
Yeah. I think that's what it's going to come down to. And we have two games as usual, and the first game is going to be at home, but the second game is going to be over there. And I think they're going to be in the same situation. They have a lot of trust in Caleb Williams, but I don't know, man. I mean, they have a lot of offensive weapons now too. So
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of these teams think they got C.J. Stroud, which to me is an anomaly as far as quarterback play for a rookie. That guy was just lights out. So, I mean, if Caleb Williams is what 50% of what he done, they're gonna be in good hands because Chicago ain't really had a good quarterback since Jim McMahon, and that was '85. So
yeah,
there's that. You always got hope, brother. Well, we appreciate it, man. Like you said, I think you gave a little positives and negatives of your team. Um, got a general outlook, man. Hey, and good luck on the season, bro. We'll come back for the start of the season start. We'll come back before the start of the season, and we'll do a little recap about the training camp and all that stuff. We got J Dub in the house, and we know he's a Cowboy fan like I and Key. We'll let him give his opinion on the Cowboys and his expectations and his positives and negatives of the team and what he thought of the draft.
Uh, well, for the Cowboys, I mean, I think everybody can say that it's a love-hate relationship with the Cowboys. Uh, you love them during the regular season, but then when them playoffs come, boy, you hate them very much. Um, but it is what it is. We're going to the draft. Uh, I like the draft, but I didn't like some of the picks that they were doing. I feel like they could address some other type needs that they needed since um we lost a total of I believe 16 16 total players due to free agency and cuts,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
we only gained 3 outside of it. So
Yeah.
I
Well, my
figured,
biggest issue, and like I said, I didn't pay attention to the other teams. I mean, I paid attention to the Eagles because they just had a phenomenal draft. I mean, I have to give
yep,
Big Reds and his team a super A. I can't give them an A plus, but I'm gonna give them a solid A. Man, they got a GM and owner that they just know how to go about doing business, and that's what we don't have in Dallas.
yeah,
You know, they just sat on the toilet too long this offseason, man. They didn't get anybody in free agency of note. They had a chance to go get a guy from the Titans running back. He slips my mind right now. Derrick Henry. We had a
Derrick
chance and
Henry,
he
yep.
verbally said he wanted to come to Dallas. And they didn't even pick up the phone and give the guy a call.
He even went and got a
Yep.
house in Dallas.
Yeah.
Trash, bro.
He was already set,
He
bro.
got
He
a
was set to
house
just
in Dallas,
touchdown,
and
bro.
they didn't.
Oh, dude, he was saying he was willing to take a pay cut to come to Dallas.
No shot.
Yeah, it's just
And
Bro,
he
crazy.
said they
Derrick
didn't
Henry's
even
a beast
contact
now.
him. So that's what we're dealing with. And I don't mean to interrupt your overview of the Cowboys. I'll go ahead and let you finish, Josh. Go ahead.
But yeah, like I was saying, we lost 16 total to free agency and only picked up 3. I mean, you got Eric Kendricks that we picked up in off season, and he didn't really do too much over the years. And then we picked up Ezekiel Elliott again. I think that's kind of
Hey,
A
Jerry Jones
retread.
is just trying to
Yep.
do good about his son, you know.
We're gonna let him eat, bro. We're
Yeah.
gonna try to let him eat.
And then Royce Freeman, the other running back
eat
that we
else.
picked up. So I mean, but as far as the draft, I mean, the Cowboys they're really good at drafting O linemen and developing them. So that was one thing that I did like about the draft is that they took their first round pick, which is Tyler Guyton, out of Oklahoma. Raw in talent, but he's going to be really good, I think. And then you come to the Cowboys, they are going to uh, get you to your best ability as an O lineman. Period. If you
Yeah.
go back through the past couple of years, of every lineman they've drafted, they've all been Pro Bowlers, pretty much.
100%.
Uh, so
Okay. Well,
it was
here's
really
my
good.
issue with which me and J Dub, we're big OU fans, so we got a little insight on Tyler Guyton. He played right tackle at OU, and they're gonna, from what my understanding is, they're gonna move him over to left tackle,
Left tackle, yep.
which is a
Yep.
big deal because Dallas lost what 3 O linemen in free agency.
Yeah,
Yep.
Tyler
So
Smith, yep. Tyler the center.
yeah,
Man.
and they didn't even move. They had a chance to move up to get the best center in the draft, and they kept falling back and falling back. And I, dude, I was about to have a major stroke. But that's just what Dallas does. And I don't know. But like I said, I'm kind of stepping on your recap because it was 3 of us that got recaps of Dallas, and I don't want to rehash the same thing. I just want to kind of interject
Yeah.
my feelings on it. So what was your overall feel of the draft for the Cowboys?
I mean, I give him a D. I
It's
gave
great
him a
hearing both
D,
perspectives.
you know. And if it wasn't for Tyler Guyton getting drafted, I probably would have gave him an F. All right, that's just personally how I feel about what they've been doing, and we can talk about this from the past previous drafts too. I ain't really giving them too much on that. There's just too
Yeah.
many. Like for instance, we only had there's C.D. Lamb that we have, and we lost another receiver. Like I get we got
But
Tyler
we,
Guyton, he can help save the line right there. But who is he gonna throw to? I mean, all we got is CD.
yeah, yeah.
If you
That's
look
what
So
I'm
we
at
saying.
lost
I
Gallup in free
mentioned,
agency, correct?
say that
yeah,
again.
They lost Gallup
Yeah, they
in free
lost Gallup
agency.
too. Yep.
Yeah,
yeah,
Gallup with the Raiders.
They didn't lose Gallup to free agency. They cut Gallup.
yeah.
Okay,
They cut
okay,
down.
okay. I couldn't remember. But I know he went to the Raiders.
Yeah, he went to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Raiders, and then the backup running back Tony Pollard, he went to the Titans. So
Okay.
I think they need to bring Cooper
We got
Rush
a
back,
bunch of
bro.
1 year, 2 year wide receivers, but yeah, we did pick up in round 6. We did pick up a wide receiver from
Yeah,
Southeast
but that's
Missouri.
round 6, man. I mean, they
Decent,
just
but
man,
throwing a flyer out there.
that's what I'm saying, man.
hey
It's
man,
decent, but
they trying to
we
fill up the practice squad up, man.
Somewhere.
That's There was too many good receivers up
Yeah,
there, and it was
exactly.
too
That's what
many
I'm
good
saying.
receivers up there in that
Like,
first round that didn't get picked up.
You
Where
could argue the
all those
first
exactly.
3
quarterbacks
rounds.
Exactly.
went in the first. There were so many people that teams were not expecting to slip all the way to
100%.
that far down, and we didn't pull no
Yeah.
trigger on anything.
Well,
So
a defensive player didn't get
Yeah,
picked until
100%.
what number?
We
Well,
didn't
I'm
pick
talking
one
about
up until
the
round
overall
2.
draft. A
overall
defensive
draft,
player didn't get picked to like what, pick 13? Somewhere? Some
yeah,
kind of
Oh,
crazy number
oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And that's what's gonna make our podcast different.
yeah.
We don't do too much research. We just go off from what we know and what we feel. And maybe at some point we'll do a little bit more research, but for now, we just like guys in the barbershop. We just gonna shoot from the hip and kind of enjoy the conversation. I hope you guys will listen and subscribe to our podcast. Um, I really can't add too much besides AQ Key giving them a B and J Dub giving them a D minus. So I guess I'll just be in the middle and give them a C. But I don't even know if that's C for being unconscious or just being cognizant of the inept attitude of Jerry Jones. And that's me as a Cowboy fan right now.
Respect.
I just don't understand you
Mm,
losing 3 O linemen in free agency. You cut one of your better wide receivers. Yeah, he was
yeah.
hurt and he's not playing much, but you pigeonhole yourself. You got to pay Gallup. I mean, you got to pay Parsons. You got to pay CD Lamb. I mean, you have to max those guys out if you
Indeed.
want any kind of. And you've already gave the corner that got hurt. What's his name? Diggs. You've already paid him
They,
and you really don't have any depth on the O line, which I don't even understand. You have no depth at running back of note, and you had a chance to get the best free agent
yep.
running back out there. So I don't know. I would give him a D, but I don't know. We're just gonna leave that there, and we'll move
Give us
on to
your
the
outlook.
NFL later on down the line. Now we're gonna try to transition over to the NBA. Um, I'm a big Thunder fan. Um, I don't think we ever really talked about everybody what NBA teams we root for on the
Yeah,
first
we did a little bit.
podcast, but I'm a Thunder fan. I believe AQ's a Boston Celtics fan. Big Grizz is a Miami
I wouldn't
Heat
talk about it.
fan. John, we know you're not a fan. J Dub, we know he's a Thunder fan. I think Sal, you like Sixers, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah. So we got
man.
two. We got 2 or 6 of us that's not big NBA fans, so they don't have to chime in on it right now. So, AQ, since your team is still in the playoffs, give us a little rundown on how you feel about the playoffs and how the Celtics are doing right now.
Well, after coming off last night, Celtics is doing amazing. Ended up tearing that Cavaliers team
It's the
up.
Cavs, bro.
They brought me
Calm down.
back.
It's the Cavs.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. They gave me back when they were tearing up Miami
Hold
back
on,
then. You know what I
don't drag
mean?
Big Grizz into
Oh
this
wait.
yet. Hold on, man.
Oh
Hold
wait,
on.
wait,
Didn't
wait.
y'all just take an L from the
All right,
Cavs
getting
though?
wild up already.
We did, man. But this game was special, man. This game was special. We had Jason Tatum putting up 33 points, Jalen Brown putting up 28. You see, we need them to stay clutching, man. Uh, and then we need our bench to incorporate themselves into the game, which is what
Or
happened
watch him
yesterday.
get hurt.
Donovan Mitchell can't do it all himself. That's why he ended up getting a
Oh, if he
sprained
got a
calf.
sprained calf, then
He's
They're
the
questionable.
done.
Cavaliers has
They're
no
done.
chance to win.
Jared Allen's still out.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
So and you know what? Donovan Mitchell has been busting his tail this series, man. Been busting even the last series, putting up 50 points, 44 points. He came up with 33
All
points
right.
last
What did
game as
Tatum?
well.
Did Tatum finally show up? Because I
Like
didn't get to watch the Celtics the last game. Did he finally show up in the playoffs?
he finally did, man. He finally woke up, drank some coffee, something, woke up out of somewhere, and put up the game that he needed to come up, man. Because everyone was waiting, everybody was talking, everybody was
He got Derek
doubting,
White out here
and he had to
All
put it
right,
quiet
defending
together,
for
brother.
him.
man.
Derek
And I'm
White
glad that he
All
did it
right.
last
So
night.
you got
Jason
them.
Tatum put a
I'm
Marshawn.
100% positive you got them defeating the Cavs. And I think all the guys that watch basketball seem to agree with
Yep.
that. So who do you think they're going to take on the next round between Indiana and the Knicks?
And I don't know. After looking at it today, Halliburton putting up them 20 points, and what amazed me the most was not just that, but you also had T.J. McConnell come out of nowhere with 10 assists and 15 points,
Hey, that's the
playing
X
mad
factors, man.
defense
That's the X factors coming up.
off the bench. But man, they had a really good game today. I'm hoping I want Indy to pull through just because I oh over this season Halliburton has definitely showed some class, showed that he can
You
ball,
don't think you want to play the
and
Knicks with them only playing like 6 people? They're gonna be wore out if they can make it through this round.
yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, dude. If the Knicks pull through, I think it'll be I wouldn't say it'd be a walk in the park, but man, I don't think they can keep up that pace. Like even going into a whole new series,
Yeah,
man.
bet. All right, Big Grizz. We know the Heat fell out the playoffs, but you're a big basketball guy. So what is your what's your opinion of the playoffs so far, man? And I'm sorry, AQ, I cut you off on. I didn't give you a West opinion, but we just want to go with teams that are
You
in the
good?
East right now because Big Grizz team is from the Heat, so he's got more opinion on the East side, I'm sure, than he
And
does of the West. So what do you think of
the
the
East
East
got
so
saved
far?
this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I gotta say. Jimmy Butler being out. But anyway, I agree with AQ, the key over here.
Well, hold on before you give your opinion on that. So
Jim, let
what's the
me-
squabble going on between Pat Riley and his
I
whole
think
damn team, man? He's
Pat
giving
Riley gives
everybody the
everybody the
smoke.
business at the end of the season and all of those end of season press conferences. So it doesn't surprise me what he said. Kind of surprised me what he said about Jimmy Butler overall, especially with him rumors saying that he's going to be asking for an extension and larger paycheck. So we'll see what Pat Riley does, but Pat Riley always,
Mm.
stands on his business.
For those that don't know, that is not keeping up with the NBA like we did, can you refresh our memory what the beef was or the issue that Pat Riley had with Jimmy Butler?
Well, I think a video came out where Jimmy Butler was saying, Boston was like pretty around the bases saying that he was, Boston was lucky that he wasn't playing. Sorry, and that if he was in there, they would have done something different. So, and Pat Riley came out saying, you know what, if you're not playing the game, you should just keep your mouth shut. So, but I think
Oof.
Hey, that's the
Oof.
that's the
godfather in the
Godfather.
NBA, man. He's the godfather. Pat
OG.
Riley can do
But
that.
I think that's just a way of them talking to each other. I think that's kind of normal for them. So we'll see what those negotiations, how those negotiations go, and hopefully we keep Jimmy Butler and add some different pieces. And a piece that we really want to add, or a lot of fans want to see added, is a player from the Celtics Cavaliers series, which is Donovan Mitchell. He's like Keith said, he's been carrying the Cavs so far in the series. If he's not playing well, they're just not. Their offense just isn't there. Darius Garland, he had a big season last year, being an All Star, and then this season he just isn't showing up when he needs to. It just seems like he's making erratic decisions on the offensive end of things.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Celtics, Key was alluding to how they're kind of playing the Cavs the same way they played Miami. I kind of agree with that, seeing that they're up 2-1 and one on the road already. And we'll see what that looks like later on. It really just depends on how their 3-point percentage is looking like, if they're going to be winning or not. So overall, I think the Celtics are going to take this game. I say in 5. I don't think the Cavs are going to get another dub out of this one.
And who you got in the Indiana Knicks
Knicks,
series?
Pacers. You alluded to it. Knicks, they just are too injury prone. Too many people on the injury list right now. OG Anunoby being added to that list this past week was just detrimental to their offensive success on that side of the ball, and on the defensive side of the ball. He's just a big time player. He was going to be that X factor of this series, and he was showing that. Him and Josh Hart were showing that in the first 2 games. Losing him, you just lose a big piece of that team,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just not enough players on that bench to be able to rotate them in with the starters and find somebody or find a good set of players that can keep the game momentum going for long periods of time. Brunson, he's carrying right now. The first quarter of today's game didn't look too hot for him. Seemed like he was forcing a lot of things on the offensive side, and I think that's where they kind of lost that momentum coming into the game today. So
Yeah, I think they gassing. I think they
yeah, they're for
gassing out,
sure
man. I
gassing
think
out.
they just putting in. You got
Oh, yeah.
guys averaging 40 plus minutes a game, all the starters. And plus they're
Yep.
going back to back. You know, they're getting a day off in
Yeah,
between.
and Josh Hart, you really saw that with Josh Hart today.
Yeah, it gets very
Yes,
tired.
he played
Yeah.
close to 48 minutes, I
100%.
believe, if not 48 minutes. But you could just see it in the way he played. He just
Yeah, he
wasn't
played
there.
like,
He
was
wasn't
it
showing up
6
to the
games straight?
um,
Yeah, he played like a 5 or 6 games
Yeah.
straight of every minute, like the first player to do that, and I forget
Yep.
how many years, but that's just insane. You can't keep that type of. I don't care how good shape you're in, man. It's not good on your
But
body.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
seeing
you
you
kind of
got
saw that not
the
just with him
Celtics
too.
and the Pacers going to the Western,
the
Eastern
Pacers in
Conference Finals.
6. I think, I think they're going to win the next 2. They're just going to get this series over with. I don't think the Knicks are going to be able to handle anything else for them. They're too physical for them right now.
Oh, Sal, we got you, but we know you're not a big basketball fan. And John, we're not trying to leave you out, but we're gonna get y'all's guys' opinion on some other sports here in a minute. I'm gonna get J Dub, let him come in. He's kind of like me, man. We pay more attention to the West. We're big Thunder fans, so give me your insight on the Mavs and Thunder, and what your prediction for that series, and who you think they're gonna play in the next round.
Man, after watching this last game yesterday, it's gonna be rough for us in Thunder side. Boy, if they keep letting Luka Doncic do what he do, he just down there bullying people down there in that low post. Which, if you notice during the first game though, Luka averages about 12 3-pointers a game. He's jacking them up. I'd rather him shoot those than bully our little guards down there and pulling up for those middies because they try to double team them and they just getting the rebounds off of that. So it was just rough watching it last game.
Well, let's address the elephant in the room with that series. Besides the horrible officiating,
Oh yeah,
and yes, I'm a homer. I'll admit it. But you can't call it one way on one end of the court, then call it other end of the court. And besides that, I believe Dagnall has a poor rotation, and he's just stuck on playing Giddy, and he's stuck on playing Hayward. Hayward, I looked on a stat today. The last 7 games, he shot the ball 3 times total. 3 attempts.
But that's Joe in there.
I mean, I think I got some grandkids that's 4 and 5 years old and go throw it up at least once, twice, 3 times in 7 games.
At least.
He had 0 points on 3 attempts in 7 games.
yeah.
And that's an NBA player that was once a starter. He's like your 6 or 7 guy coming off the bench. To me, that's just unexcusable and lazy on the coaching staff. You won't win a series with them sagging off of Giddy, who is just, his confidence is just shot. He's scared to shoot the ball. And you have Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins,
Jalen Williams.
who was the other Jalen Williams from Arkansas, Kendrick Williams. I mean, there's a lot of Williams on the team. But they have multiple guys that I don't understand why they're not just pushing Dallas up and down the court and make Luka run up and down the court. He's not in shape. I don't care what he does. Make him play defense.
And he's hurt.
He's hurt.
Yeah, and he's hurt. A knee injury, I believe.
Yeah.
He's battling through each game.
So yeah,
They had
tomorrow night's
hell
gonna be
of
a
time.
big game, man. It's 2-1 right now. Thunder has a chance to get back to home court. What are your opinions on that, and who you think is gonna win the series?
Well, I think the Thunder are gonna win this next game and tie it up and be 2-2, I believe. And then I honestly think it's gonna go all the way to 7 games.
And who you got winning?
It's just, and then hopefully my heart is gonna say Thunder.
What your heart, but what your head say?
My head is saying Dallas.
Yeah,
It's gonna come down.
Because
man.
they got two. One of the top players in the NBA with Luka and Kyrie. And Kyrie really ain't got off yet.
No,
honestly.
but he's doing what he needs to do. He's doing what he needs to do.
He is due for one of those games that he's gonna go off, and it's either gonna be in like a game 6 or a 7 situation where
he's 13-0 in game 7s or closeout games. I'm sorry, in closeout games.
Yeah, so he's due. He's just letting everybody do what they do. You know, he'll get his little 10, 15 points. But one of these games that's coming up, he's gonna go off for like 30.
Yeah.
and
XGMO.
it's the
Hey, and
experience.
that PJ
It's the
Washington dude, he's
experience.
like
Oh,
he ain't like he's Klay Thompson out there, bro. I mean, like, really?
54% from
yeah.
the
Yeah.
field right
So
now. 54% from the field.
that's insane.
And
Crazy.
That's
he couldn't miss
insane.
last game at all.
No.
So you got
Yeah, he
Dallas
he
in
was
your
11 of
heart.
23.
You want the
Yeah, I want
Thunder,
the
but
Thunder
in
to
your
win, but
head
I
we
think
got
Dallas is
Dallas.
gonna
So
take it. Yeah,
Thunder's defense need to step up.
I say, who you got coming out of the
I got the Nuggets.
other between
Nuggets and Timberwolves.
Denver and Minnesota? Because we just finished watching the Nuggets just put it on the T-Wolves,
Yeah,
which after the first two games, everybody, even in the media, was like, "Oh man, their defense is so great. They just got Denver out of their they're just too tough for Denver." And they showed their
Can't
championship
forget.
medal, man. They just came into Minnesota and just put it on 'em both games.
yeah,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think Denver's still gonna come out of there with a win. I think they were just kind of sleepwalking because of the first round of the games that they had against the Lakers. They ain't really had to do a whole lot, you know. Um, so now they're just kind of was just cruising, and then they had a lot of time off too. If you think about it, a lot of time off from the Lakers game to these games because Minnesota had a hard time, but the Nuggets, they just this was just one of those teams, man. You know that you those dynasty times that you know you can see one of those teams. They just are really, really, really good. And then when it comes to the playoffs times, it's just hard to stop them. Yeah, you might win one or two games in the series, but when they lock it in, and then it's hard to can't get anything against them.
Yep.
All right, so
Yeah.
sound like to me.
After those two L's,
Go ahead.
man,
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's the best out of three now. So good luck beating Denver 2 out of 3 times.
and they got those
Nikola
Especially
Nuggets.
it's like they
Mm-hmm.
just took the T Wolves' confidence, man. It's like they just went in there and bully balled
Yep.
them
The
right
big guys
back.
don't know what to
Yeah,
do again.
Big
Like
guys
you
don't know what to
Yeah.
do, man.
So hey, you gotta beat the champs, man. They just not gonna give it to you. So it look like Denver's gonna be on the road, man. Like I said, I'm proud of the Thunder either way it go, because nobody had them winning 57 games. I didn't even have them winning 57 games.
right.
I thought they might get to 50. But hey, they're still a
said.
young team. And I also don't understand why they didn't go out and get a big guy at the trade deadline. I mean, Hayward, okay, whatever. You missed on that one, but your obvious flaw in your team is rebounding. Now I don't know how
Yeah.
good he would have done this series, but they gave up like 19 offensive rebounds, Dallas. So there's that. So everything from here on out to me is gravy. Even though I think they could beat Dallas, I just don't know. The next game is going to tell a lot.
Yeah,
Because if they don't beat Dallas and Dallas gonna beat them.
Oh, here's the
They
other
can't
thing.
lose 3 in a row. They had
PJ
lost 3 in a row in a minute.
PJ
I mean, they did it in
Washington,
the
man.
season, but SGA was hurt, so I can't even say that that count in my book. But we'll see what happens, man. Hey, guys, like I said, Sal, John, man, we about to get back on topic with you guys because I know y'all not big basketball fans, and y'all was like, hey, we good on this topic, so we're gonna move on. And like I said, hey, if you guys please like our podcast. Please like and subscribe to our podcast and spread the word. We're gonna try to introduce a new topic every week. And the hot news right now in boxing, the Ryan Garcia dirty test. Now, I'm gonna go to each one of you guys, give me your opinion. And hey, if you want to chime in, let's just try not to walk over each other. But hey, Q Key. We've all individually talked about this. Well, let me take that back since Sal and John hasn't really talked. That we talked about the NBA. We'll start with those guys first. Big Sal.
For sure.
Sal, what you got? What you think about the dirty test?
Everything Ryan Garcia was saying leading up to this fight. Keep in mind his bad trade. This dude took a year off, went to some like Aaron Rodgers meditation place, claims he saw the Bohemian Grove, comes out with Devin Haney's ass. No one expected this, bro. Comes out and whips his ass. And then wants some money on top of this shit just to pop hot on an A sample test.
Hey, let me ask this question. And I don't know. We haven't done, like I said, we're kind of off script here, and we don't do too much research. We just shoot from the hip. But did anybody figure out if he fails both drug tests and they make it a no contest, will he have to pay that money back?
I have no idea.
So As far as the betting world goes, I think it's just like kind of washed out because I mean, if the fund's already spent, the fund's already spent.
But he didn't win. He technically didn't win the fight.
Or they could try to do something saying that he boosted his performance because he had known he was gonna make this bet prior. So they
That's
could
what
change this in, they could change this into a very legal case on Ryan Garcia, bro. So
that's my point. They can probably come back and Vegas be like, hey, you bet it on yourself knowing you cheated. So
Probably could.
that's a very interesting thing, man. I hadn't really done any much research on it, but Vegas ain't going to give up what he bet 2 million or 3 million and win 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
112.
Hey, they ain't
Here's
want to
the
give
thing,
you
though.
$9 to $10 million and let you just escape for cheating. So
Guaranteed,
Exactly.
if the boxing committee doesn't do that, Devin Haney's entire crew will make sure that happens. Personally, if the boxing committee does not do this.
look, man, we all watched that fight that I know of. Everybody in the little group seen the fight. Devin Hayden got the brakes beat off of him.
100%.
Boy.
Yeah.
Now
It's
keep in
positive
mind,
test or
we've
negative.
had this
It
talk.
didn't matter.
That's it, right. That's right, J Dub. Positive, negative, in between. You got the brakes beat off for you, bro. Just take your loss and keep it pushing.
100%. I feel the same way. I think the issue here is like I don't think the kid can accept that he got his butt whooped. You know what I mean? Like I think he needs to man up and just finally accept that you aren't the greatest boxer that you thought you were. You got outclassed, and for his team to investigate further into ways to take the L off of his record is
Yeah.
it's kind
Hey,
of
here's my
it's kind of
deal.
childish. You know what I mean?
And like I said, we talk a lot. Yeah, we talked about this offline, and my deal is, man, you can come out and say it's unfortunate that he had to cheat to beat me, but it is what it is, and keep it pushing. Hold your head up high, and just say, "Hey, man, the guy
Yeah,
beat me, or whatever." That's me. But don't
But
yeah,
I
come in
mean,
crying. Hey, you take the loss off my record. No, man. If it was like some controversial decision, okay. But he beat the brakes off you, man. He slapped you around. The referee saved him what 3 or 4
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
100%.
left
oh
hook,
yeah,
man.
bro.
Yeah,
That left hook.
got in the way
It'd be
anytime.
All right.
different if
Honestly,
it
the
was a
towel should have been thrown
it'd be
in.
it'd be different if it was a draw or if he actually looked like he was doing something, but he wasn't doing anything in that fight.
Yeah, he couldn't
Oh
see
yeah,
the
that's
left
true.
hook. The left hook was just catching him every time.
Yep.
Big
Yeah.
John, what's your opinion on that?
Man, I'm looking. So I'm taking a look at the because he posted on Twitter 4 days ago in regards to the whole anabolic ordeal that he. By the way, according to him, and this is just his post. He has been acquitted from the whole ordeal of him being on some sort of anabolic.
You talking about Ryan
Ryan
Garcia?
Garcia, yeah.
Negative.
So you know, I even then, right? I mean, it was blatantly obvious how much more prepared Ryan Garcia was for this fight. I mean, with this whole ordeal that people really underestimated him up until the fight, and God, they put the underdog on his ass so bad.
Hey, but be honest, because we all watched the fight. Be honest, who all said that Garcia was gonna get knocked out?
I
We
I,
all did.
Oh, we
I
all
did.
did.
I
I
We
did.
all
did.
did.
And plus, come on, we,
100%.
we
We all
were
Bro,
we
did.
were going in thinking that David Haney was
What?
going to put work, and little did we know, first and second round,
Yeah,
boy, our minds just flipped
Yeah,
at
we
that
that's
gotta
point.
true.
change it real
Because
quick.
of the steroid.
But
it was really
from
shocking to see.
yeah, but speaking on his tweet, he hadn't even submitted his
May
B sample
22nd.
yet. I don't believe, from what I read. Yeah,
Yep.
he hadn't even put it in yet, so he can't say that they came back and made him clean or he passed. Nah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Ryan Garcia is handling this poorly too.
Yeah,
Oh, I think the whole hype around the whole fight was carried wrong. Like the way that they tried to sell the fight, and the way that they went about each situation was definitely I guess an immature way. I guess with this new generation of boxing, I guess there's always been that man, I'm about to knock you out, I'm about to whoop you, blah blah blah. But then this one kind of just took it over the
well, you got
edge.
to
You know what I'm
understand the whole
saying?
Yeah,
Ryan
The
Garcia
way
thing. Leading up to the fight was just a strange kind of scenario with the buildup of it,
Clickbait.
and they
It's
marketed
clickbait.
it
That's
off.
all it was.
You know what I mean? They marketed it. Exactly. It was just they
Yeah.
marketed it. He
Clickbait.
marketed it, and boy, that dude was crossing some treaded waters with the whole, you know, island thing, and man, it just got weird. But
Bro,
I'll
definitely.
be honest with you. The guy was 3 pounds
3 pounds.
over. Like at that
He
point,
said, "Hell no."
Haney's team, and I get it. They didn't want to disappoint fans, whatever. It 3 pounds is a huge like deal in boxing. That should have gave the team Haney's team should have just been like, look,
Pride and ego got in the way.
we're not gonna fight.
They took that
We can cut it out.
1.5 mil that they betted.
But
That
man,
Ryan
I
Garcia
mean,
said he paid 500K for each pound that he was over. Took that money, said, "Okay, let's still fight." It's like, yo, like,
yeah,
you know what's
and
gonna
then he
happen?
quadrupled it with a bet.
Yeah, and then he did that, and then he got his money back.
Well, seeing that,
yeah,
and seeing that's what makes it weird to me. Like he was just okay with being 3 pounds over. Most fighters, man, they're a pound over. They just like freak out.
yeah,
And then you
man.
was okay with
Yeah,
paying
dude.
1.5 mil to him. Then you wouldn't bet 2 million on yourself. So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's $3.5 million right there that you potentially could have pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It gave me a celebrity boxer vibes, bro. You know what I mean?
His
Like
dad,
that
if you
whole
watch if you
ordeal.
watch the press conference, his dad was going off. He was telling him like, "Hey, calm down, shut up." When he was talking about the
100%.
500,000 per pound over, and his dad was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, shut up." Ryan Garcia's
Yeah.
dad. He was like, "Hey, yo, chill, shut your mouth." He's like, "No, Dad, I got it." Like, okay, dude, you doing a little bit too much. Cause I ain't never known a fighter. Like I said in the first podcast, I'm 53 years old, so I've been watching boxing for a very long time. I've never heard a boxer in a press conference like, "Yo, for every pound I owe, I'll give you X amount of dollars." Like, who does that?
I never heard of it either.
Yeah, it's
Somebody's
just
Looking at
weird. The
Lamborghini
that.
and
whole vibe
bro.
of the whole fight would just had a bad
I
vibe to
agree.
me.
You got to lay out the
I
powder.
think.
Got to lay out the powder.
It,
So now, hey, saying all of that, do you think this could be a
What do you mean?
scandal?
it's gonna be a
You-
scandal either way,
It's
no
already
matter
a
how you look
scandal.
at it.
Yeah, man.
Because
I mean,
like I said, here's
yeah,
like I was telling you guys
Legit.
earlier. What is Vegas going to do? Because Vegas is like just chilling right now.
I think personally, there's a loophole in there where he
Yeah, I
keeps
don't
all
think
that
he'll
money.
have to pay that.
You think?
Yeah, I think he keeps all
Wait,
that
okay,
money.
hold on. What belt did they fight for? Was it a WBO, WBA?
I don't know what the
It was an
organization is.
MGM. It was an
I'm
MGM bet.
Yeah, I'm just. Well, he's talking about the belts.
dumbass. I'm
Man,
talking
ain't
about the
nothing but
belt,
the
not the
Oh,
alphabet
my
location.
bad.
suits on belts right now. So I don't know what belt he's fighting for.
Hey, Key, what belt did they fight for? Was it WBA? It was a junior
WBC.
WBC is a junior title, wasn't it?
Yes.
See, so hey, what if the WBC does something that Vegas doesn't? Because if I'm not mistaken, the WBO, the IBF, they're all separate committees.
Well, which I agree with Sal, but here's my biggest issue: Vegas is not built on giving away money. They basically gonna give him money if he cheated. Correct? If he
Yeah.
cheated for a win, and if they come back and say
Yeah.
you failed these drug tests, we got to vacate that win. They are not going. I just find it hard to believe they're going to let him keep $9 million.
If anything, he just loses his purse.
I feel the same way, but with boxing is so
Yeah,
different,
it's
bro.
weird.
I don't know.
It's weird. You correct.
There's not so many punishments for it and whatnot. So I
They
don't know,
may
man.
find him $9 million or whatever the difference was,
Probably.
10 million, or however much he made off the fight. But anyway, guys, moving on from there, let's talk about the Lomachenko and Kambosa fight.
Boy, chess game.
Oh yeah.
And
All right.
man,
AQ, let us know what your thoughts was on that fight.
man, honestly, man, we saw a very vintage, amazing Lomachenko.
Agreed.
I'm telling you, like the reporter said it best, man. Like he got interviewed at the press conference and was like, "Are we gonna see a Lomachenko that we haven't seen in a long time, where the crowd is saying no mas Lomachenko?" And you know what we ran into yesterday? Exactly that, man. Coming off, being off for about a year and defending his country out there in Ukraine and, still worrying about things at home to come back and dominate a Cambosis that has came off losing all of his belts from being undisputed to Devin Haney and coming off to at least winning one match before he took this Lomachenko fight. Man, you can't rule out Lomachenko for being off a whole year and thinking that you can come in here and think you can defeat Legacy just like
Well,
that,
yeah,
man. And I think that's how Cambosis came in.
yeah, and
But
then well,
not
here's
only
the
that,
deal. Lomachenko's 36 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he fought in Cambosa's home country.
I think all the Aussies lost yesterday,
The
right?
Aussies,
Yeah,
man.
he had everything against
and
him.
the Aussies is plays. Kicked his ass like a kangaroo, bro.
Yep.
It's
So
mother.
got that IBF title. Got that IBF title. I think right now, and he said it best in his post press conference was, he's gonna go back home. He's gonna take some rest, and then he'll figure out who he's gonna fight. And Tank Davis called him out. He had some key fighters call him out, and it's kind of like you can't blame the guy. He's 36 years old. He's almost on his way to probably hang up his gloves, but he said that he might think about fighting another fight at the end of this year. So who knows?
That's
Bro,
We'll see.
usually what happens when
11
you
round
win a
knockout.
championship. Well, everybody in the woodwork try to come out, start calling you out again.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's trying to get one more big payday.
That man, or I think he's gonna try to get the belts again one last time, try to get undisputed. I mean I think that's what his trainer, which was his dad, ended up saying it too, that they probably might make one more run, and then they'll see it from there. If it doesn't happen, doesn't
I mean,
happen, which I don't blame him.
the
Bro, he's
call out
36.
happened.
What was the call out?
Tank Davis.
Oh, okay.
Let's think about it though,
Maybe a
bro.
good fight.
Hypothetical situation: Canelo and Lomachenko, bro. Well, obviously, will never happen, but
Nah, dude. Canelo's nah. Let's not even go there.
Canelo's trying to
hey,
get Crawford.
loser retires.
Bro,
Some WWE
this
shit,
ain't
bro.
Tokyo Drift, bro. We ain't playing for pinks out here, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Grizz, you
Well,
got
I'll
any
just talk about
opinion
the
on the fight?
knockout round. I mean, Lomachenko was just working that right eye of Kambosos, and Kambosos protecting that right eye, left that liver shot open, and just boom, right
Nasty.
into it the first time, got knocked down, got right back up. Lomachenko set him up a little bit and opened that shot back up, and he tried to go in for the block, but I think we all know once you get hit with one liver shot, anything close to that will just bring you back down to your knees. So,
Hey, yeah, it
so
paralyzes
no,
you.
yeah, I mean
Yeah, it
Lomachenko,
paralyzes
he's
your
just
whole
methodical
body.
about it, found his open spots, and he capitalized on it.
Bet. All about Sal. Sal, what's your opinion on the fight?
I think Cambosos got kangaroo jack, bro. That's exactly what happened in his home country, bro. Some Rocky
Honestly,
shit.
yeah. I mean, none of the Aussies won. I don't think any
Yeah.
of the Aussies won. All
Right.
three of them lost, right? First guy got robbed, right?
Nah,
Yeah, out there in lost.
I mean,
I think
Logan got robbed.
like the
Oh, that
the
woman,
announcer
the
kind of
women's
messed
fight.
up a
Yeah,
couple of the first two matches.
the
Yeah, well,
women's
he
fight.
also had a hiccup with the first fight. He mixed up the numbers,
What they
the
smoking
the
out there,
points
bro?
from each one. So I mean, yeah, it's some out there in the Mossies.
hey, whatever it is, bro, it's crazy. But no, I mean Lomachenko, like he said, man, taking a year off, fighting his, for his country, coming back, challenging himself in. Kind of reminded me of like that episode of Creed, bro. That part of the movie where he got took it out to the desert, just locked in,
Yeah.
came back and just whooped that dude's ass.
Yeah, he
And
put in work on him, man. He definitely wore him down. And that that liver shot was something else, man. It was like a delayed reaction. And it took him out.
Mm.
dude, we seen that in so many fights too, bro. It's just it's
Hey,
it's crazy to
they
come back
thought he
though.
got him with that overhand left to the face, and it wasn't that. It was that body shot, man. He crippled him. Big John?
Yeah, man. I mean, basically just everything you guys been saying. I mean, it was a unanimous, fight at that point. 10-9 every single round up until the TKO, and it's obvious that, he definitely wanted to come back after, that loss with David Haney, and, he definitely wanted to make his country proud too with everything going on over there. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say. He came back and he definitely put a show. And I think he's got maybe one or two more fights in him. I think he should definitely go and just make that last run for the title. But there's just so much fights that could happen at this point. It could be him, Camboso, can go up against Ryan Garcia, or Lomachenko versus Tank Davis. But at the end of the day, man, anything could happen, and I feel like a bunch of great fights are in the work.
And don't get me wrong, Cambosis did have a good boxing match. I mean, I just think he went in with a bad game plan, and he got picked apart, man. Got
Every
picked
single
apart.
round, man. It was blatantly obvious that he just went in really expecting, for Lomachenko to be washed, but man, he was wrong.
Yeah.
And see, and
The
that's
good
what
thing
I
is,
think. I
though,
think he went in overconfident, thinking since Lomachenko's been off for a while, and he was at home, he was just gonna walk all over him, man. It just didn't manifest that way, man. He just wore that guy down, man. He just beat him, and beat him some more, and made him like it.
Yep.
I think at some point, Cambosa's own country was going against him towards the end.
There was about to bring a kangaroo tag match, man.
They
Yep.
want to tell you, they wanted to go
Abraham-
get a kangaroo, a boxing kangaroo, and put in the ring.
Kangaroo Jack, baby.
which,
Hey, the
which
corner threw it.
Abraham,
And what I respected is that his corner threw the towel
Yeah,
in,
his
man.
dad-
Because
his
most
dad-
things that we've all watched, that we sit around and watch, they let their boxers take this undue punishment.
Mm-hmm.
His dad, bro. Right
And I
before that towel
respect.
got thrown in, it was
Yeah.
called.
I mean, referee had stopped it, but I think they was in the process of throwing in the towel. And we got some good fights coming up, and we'll talk about that on the next episode. But as of now, man, hey, this is the wrap up on episode 2. I appreciate you guys once again. We're gonna wrap this thing up, and we want everybody to subscribe. Hey guys, tell everybody peace out, and we'll get up out of here.
Peace and love, baby. Subscribe.
Peace.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
Later, guys.